The Book of Mormon's mention of silk and linen has sometimes raised questions. These fabrics were known in the Old World, but have not been found in the New World, and so their presence in the Book of Mormon has been critiqued by some. However, archaeological and anthropological research has offered several examples of ancient American clothing that could fit these descriptions. Before we explore several possibilities, it's worth noting what the words silk and linen meant at the time the Book of Mormon was published. The 1828 Webster's Dictionary says that linen usually referred to clothing made from flax or hemp, but could also simply be used as an adjective for white or pale linen-like fabrics. This allows for some leeway in the meaning at the time. The King James Bible also had some ambiguity around the meaning of silk. Though it may have meant true Chinese silk, it likely referred to Mediterranean silk from wild moths. Based on this information, the Book of Mormon's use of silk and linen may not be as strict as some may think. In general, silk is fine, soft, and thin, while linen is somewhat thicker, coarser, and stiffer. With that in mind, let's explore some New World textiles. Due to its perishable nature, very little ancient clothing has survived into modern times. Rare finds, however, from archaeological sites, provide insight into the nature of pre-Columbian fabrics and clothing, as do descriptions in colonial accounts and surviving traditions. Latter-day Saint scholar John Sorensen noted that some fabrics were made from plants that look and feel much like European linen. One was made from fibers of the leaf of agave plants, but fibers from the yucca and other plants gave similar results. One Spanish conquistador observed that the Aztecs had cloths made of hemp, which is like linen. Another early historian wrote that the Toltecs had various kinds of cloth that were like thin linen and like thick linen. So although some readers viewed the lack of European linen as evidence that the Book of Mormon was a 19th century production, the text's references to linen made from fine fibers are supported by evidence from Mesoamerica. Linen-like textiles, which could be called linen, were part of the rich pre-Columbian cultural heritage, just as the Book of Mormon suggests. While silk had been discovered among ancient Chinese and Mediterranean sources, it is now recognized that wild silk, native to the Americas, was known and utilized in pre-Columbian times. According to Patricia Annawalt, an authority on pre-Columbian textiles, there's evidence that in certain regions of Mesoamerica, the filament of a wild silk, the cocoons of caterpillars feeding on the leaves of the madrono, which is a red oak tree, was used in small quantities for decorative purposes. Several other materials like animal hair and plants were used for silk-like fabrics. The silk cotton tree has seed pods of fiber that were made into silky fabric. Silk grass grew in what is present-day Guatemala and made a silky cloth. The wild pineapple, rabbit hair, Mexican cotton, and potentially other cloths described in early Spanish sources could have all qualified as a type of silk. It's not surprising, given their delicate and ephemeral composition, that archaeological examples of silk, or silk-like fabrics, have not been identified from Nephite and Jaredite times. But the portrayal of fine threaded textiles in Mesoamerican art, the availability of silk-like materials, and the exploitation of actual wild silk from pre-Columbian times until today all point to the likelihood that silk or silk-like materials would have been known and available during Book of Mormon times. These findings demonstrate that the Book of Mormon's references to silk are plausible, no matter whether they refer to actual silk, silk-like textiles, or some combination of these possibilities. In summary, when the terms silk and linen are understood to be approximate names for New World clothing, an abundance of possibilities appear that could correlate with the Old World terms. John Sorensen concluded, Mesoamerica evidently exhibits almost an embarrassment of riches for the silk and linen of Alma chapter 1 verse 29. All but the most trivializing critics should be satisfied with the parallels. To read the full Know Why article, click on the link in the description below.